Hello, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today I'm going to make a Z-fold card with a fun ribbon closure. So you're going to put a ribbon through it and then tie a bow just for something a little extra, right? And we're going to be using the Hey Chuck stamp set, which of course here at the Roost, anything that has chickens has to come and be here. So here's what our card is going to look like when we're done, or at least something like that. So we're going to start with a 8.5 by 5 1/4 card base, and this is Lost Lagoon. It's going to be scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And then we also need a piece of lemon lolly, and I've cut this one 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now you could do that an 1/8 inch smaller too, if just if you wanted to go quarters. And then we also need a piece of lemon lolly that is 2 inches by 5 3/8. And then 2 pieces of designer series paper, and I've used 2 different designs. This is from the Delightfully Eclectic, which is kind of a fun, it has some fun eclectic designs on it. It's aptly named. These are both 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then this little guy here is a piece of basic white that has been die cut with one of the Nested Essentials dies. And I wanted to quickly show you that die set because this is quickly becoming one of my go-tos. It has 3 different shapes and then the layers, right? So there's 4 of each shape. So it's really fun for, working up layers. And then after I die cut it, I actually embossed it with one of the basic 3D embossing folders, which is an online only item. And it's kind of like little, I can't think of the pressed metal. There's a name for that. But it actually made me think of the little spurs that roosters have on their legs. They're kind of nasty little things if you've ever been around chickens. I don't know, it just reminded me of that. So that's why I chose that for this card. And then we are going to be using, like I said, the, oh, I was wrong. This is actually the metal plate embossing folder. I was thinking it was one of the 3Ds, but it's the metal plate embossing folder and it is in the catalog. Sorry about that. And we're going to be using the Hey Chuck stamp set, which, like I said, anything with chickens has to come roost here with me. So let's get started putting our card together. Now for our front layer, we're actually going to add a piece of the lemon lolly and then the designer series paper. So we're having an extra mat on this one. And I'm leaving the mat off on the inside because we are actually going to punch through a couple layers, and the extra layer of cardstock might be a little bit harder on the punch we'll be using. Now, I like to stamp before I adhere, just in case I screw up and I want to flip it around the other way. So we're going to do our You've Got Something to Crow About, and this is Pretty Peacock. We're just going to put this up in the corner. Ooh. And then It's Your Birthday down here towards the bottom. And I'm going to set that off to the side for just a minute. And then we are going to come in with some Tuxedo Black ink and stamp our chuck. Now we're using the Tuxedo ink because it will not bleed in with the Stampin' Blends when we use them. So now we have all of our stamping completed, and I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Blend markers. And I've got a Daffodil Delight, dark Sweet Sorbet, I've got dark and light Peacock, and then the light Tahitian Tide. And I will just try to quickly do this. So we'll start with the dark Peacock and put in a few shadows. Next, I'm going to come back with my light Peacock. Now for his head, I want his head and his top knot to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to come in with the Tahitian Tide. Now I'm going to leave his eyelids light, but I'm going to come back with my light Peacock. Now we'll finish up with his beak with the Daffodil Delight. Whoops. And then we just need a little bit of the red. This is sorbet for his little waddle thingy or whatever it's called. Now once we've finished all that, I like to come in with a little bit of Wink of Stella. If you've ever seen black or the dark chickens in the sunlight, you'll see that their feathers really have a sheen to them, and that's kind of what our Wink of Stella gives him. Just a little bit of a shine to his feathers. And then you're going to want to let him dry for just a bit. It doesn't take very long. And then go ahead and die cut him with the matching Hey Chuck dies. It'll cut him out just lickety-split. So here is our little Chuck. We're going to pop him up with some dimensionals. And place him on our little banner. And then we're going to need dimensionals on our banner as well. This is going to get attached right here. Only half of it is going to be attached. So we want to put our dimensionals on this side. See how I'm keeping my finger on here? Because I know that I will forget which side. Okay, so I'm just going to set those up there for just a minute. So now we want to put our inside in here before we do our punching. And we're just going to center this. Now we're going to pull in the Best Trio Punch, and it has this really cool, it's a little slot, right? We're going to fold back this, we have this Z fold here, we're going to fold that back. So now it looks like a regular card, right? Typical card. We're going to push this all the way in and center it. I'm going to stand up here so I get enough oomph. And we're going to punch through all of those layers. And that's why we didn't put that extra layer of cardstock in there. So now what we want to do is take a 24-inch length of ribbon, right? If you have Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock would be best. Of course, I didn't have one. We're just going to thread it through there. pull this back. And we can lay our ribbon across here. And we want to place this so that the ribbon goes in between our two dimensionals. And then we can go ahead and tie our bow. Of course, you're going to want to sign your card before you tie the bow, but we're just going to do it here to show you how it looks. Now, typically I would trim off, you can futz with your bow to get it just so. I would trim off the ends, but you're not going to want to do that because this is going to be a tie and retie kind of a thing, right? So you want to leave your bow a little long, and then if you want a little bit more shine, find some pretty gems, because we all like bling, right? So there is our ribbon tied Z-fold card with the Hey Chuck stamp set and delightfully eclectic designer series paper. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to purchase any of these products, just click on the link below and use the hostess code provided if you're looking at this in July of 2023. And I will go ahead and email you the tutorial for this card. So thanks and have a great day.